Hi, I'm Dr. Daniel Amen. I'm here with my beautiful wife, Tana.
Thank you. We are so excited to be with you today.
Our goal is to get you excited, motivated to revolutionize your life. Make no mistake, you are in a war for the health of your brain.
Absolutely.
Everywhere you go, someone is trying to put bad food down your throat.
And they even have scientists. There are food scientists who make this food more enticing to make you addicted.
They're putting a bad thought in your head by showing you immediately every horror that happens around the globe, immediately and repeatedly.
Right.
They're trying to hook you to gadgets that actually decrease your IQ. And the really horrifying thing for me as a psychiatrist and a neuroscientist, Alzheimer's disease is expected to quadruple in the coming decades. There's no cure for it on the horizon, even though the pharmaceutical companies have spent billions and billions of dollars.
But that, in a sense, that almost makes it easier for us to maintain our unhealthy lifestyles because we just are looking for a quick fix, for a pill.
Did you know that 50% of people 85 and older will be diagnosed with Alzheimer's disease or some form of dementia? I mean, think about that.
Scary.
I turned 60 this year, and 11,000 people are turning 60 every day with the baby boomer generation. If you knew a train was coming to hit you, would you get out of the way? We're going to show you how to get out of the way. And another horrifying thing about Alzheimer's disease, what we now know, it actually starts in your brain decades before you have any symptoms. So someone who gets diagnosed at 85, odds are even in their 40s, their brain started to change in a negative way.
Well, and what's exciting is we can actually see those brain changes now. So we can do something about it.
Well, here at Amen Clinics, we have the world's largest database of brain scans related to behavior. And one of the things I learned early on, there's a whole bunch of things that hurt your brain. We're going to talk about what those are. So Alzheimer's disease, but did you also know that depression is the #1 most expensive illness in the world?
Wow.
It affects 50 million Americans at some point in their life. It's gone up 400% since 1987. So since Prozac was released in the US, depression has actually gone up. It's not gone down. And listen to this, it's horrifying. 23% of women between the ages of 20 and 60 are taking antidepressant medication. Isn't that? I mean, just think of, and what most people don't know is birth control pills actually suck out your serotonin, the don't worry, be happy chemical, and nobody knows it.
As well as certain nutrients that can easily be replenished.
Like magnesium.
And B vitamins.
And
a big one.
All of those are involved in your mood. So depression is going up, Alzheimer's disease is going up, and everybody knows that obesity is a serious national crisis with 1/3 of us obese,
Right.
2/3 of us overweight. And what most people don't know, it just horrified me, it caused me to lose 30 pounds, is as your weight goes up, there's 200 studies that show this, as your weight goes up, the size and function of your brain goes down.
Right. And what's really scary for me as a parent is that the percentage of children that are obese now is just getting out of control. It's higher than it's ever been. It's an epidemic. But children born after the year 2000, 1 in 3 of them are expected to get diabetes type 2. And that's
we're gonna
just
talk
terrifying.
about how horrifying that is for
And it's
your
preventable.
brain. It's preventable. So if you do the right things, we are going to help you prevent Alzheimer's disease, treat depression and obesity. And I love what you say. So there are many ways to get sick. There's really
One way to get well. when I started looking at this, it can become overwhelming. You look at all the disease processes and you're like, oh my gosh, I mean, we hear it all the time. It's just another thing. It's another thing. It's always something. But guess what? The really cool part, there's one path, because what's good for your brain is good for your heart, is good for your hormones, is even good for your genitals.
Oh, I love that you brought that up. It's my favorite topic. But it's all about blood flow.
Right.
So if the blood flow in your body is not healthy, brand new study, they actually showed that neurons, so brain cells, don't age. It's blood vessels that age. So if you can get your blood vessels healthy, then you can stay healthy and vibrant
And that's
for as
not
long
very
as possible.
hard. That's the fun part. It's not very hard, but you got to have consistent effort.
So you are a warrior. So I started with it's a revolution. And in order to be a part of the revolution, if you don't want to be a victim of the society that we live in, you have to be a warrior.
Well,
and there's a reason that you're a warrior.
There's a reason I'm a warrior, but we know that this is personal to you. We've been talking about a lot of statistics. We need to make this personal for you. There's a reason you're watching us. So we want to touch on those points for you. We want to make this your program because it's a personalized program. We don't think one size fits all. We're going to teach you how to personalize this program to fit your needs. And that's exactly why I got started. So a lot of people think that it's because I'm a nurse or because I do work here. That isn't it. For me, it was extremely personal. Not only do I have diabetes, heart disease, cancer, and dementia on both sides of my family, but I personally was very sick as a child growing up, and I had cancer 3 times. Actually, I just recently had another cancer scare. But in that process, I learned how to become a warrior. And something happened when I was 15. I was actually walking down the street to school, and a guy attacked me. And I decided in that moment that I was never going to willingly be a victim. So someone may attack me, but I was never going to choose to have the mentality of a victim, so I learned how to fight. And I love to fight. I practice Kempo, and it's a lot of fun, and it's very empowering, but it's the mentality. I picked up that warrior mentality. And when I got sick, and even this last time, even though it was a current thing that happened, immediately you flip over to that mentality of, I'm going to fight. Okay, so this might happen. I can't control the circumstances around me, but I can definitely control my response. And that is really why we're trying to create brain warriors. So we've got the Brain Warriors Way. We're going to really talk about and lay this program out for you. It's extremely personal to me. It's why I'm so passionate about it, and we want to get you started.
And most people don't know, Tana, besides being beautiful, she's a neurosurgical ICU nurse. So she actually took care of the sickest people in the hospital at Loma Linda, which has a level A trauma center. But some people know Loma Linda is actually part of the blue zones,
Right.
where people live longer around Loma Linda than anywhere in the world. Why? Because their lifestyle matters.
Absolutely.
Right?
And
So-
I actually noticed that. So as I'm taking care of some of these people that were 95, 100, 102, and they would come in, and compared to the other people we would see who were in their 30s and 40s who just looked like train wrecks, literally, these people had no wrinkles on their face. They were at peace. Many of them, it was their first medical incident. They'd never been really hospitalized for anything serious before, and they had no medications. And I thought, there's something to this lifestyle thing. And I'd always been interested.
It can make a radical difference for you. The other part of your story that's really important to me is your grandmother.
Right.
And your grandmother was not well. And
No.
you talked about having diabetes and obesity, heart disease on both sides.
Well,
of
my
your
grandmother
family.
was actually obese, had diabetes, and as a result died of heart disease. So she's one of those stories. And when she moved in with me when I was young, she came to live with us when I was a very young age. It wasn't so she could help take care of me. I grew up in a very poor family. My mom was a single mom. She worked several jobs just to make ends meet. And my grandmother came to live with us, but it was so that I could help take care of her.
Right.
So by the time I was 11, I was giving her insulin shots because she had gone legally blind from the diabetes. And again, I made a decision early in life, love my family, do not want to be like them when it comes to health. And so...
and you've made a radical difference in your life. And for me, my grandfather was very important to me. I was named after him. He was my best friend growing up. but he had a heart attack when he was young, which was just devastating for me.
Right.
After his heart attack, I mean, before, vibrant, happy, he was a candy maker.
But that's important for a lot of people watching, because we have people who have these very personal emotional attachments to certain foods, and you were one of those, so you understand that.
To candy. In fact, actually at Amen Clinics, we make brain healthy chocolate in honor
For that
of
reason, yeah.
him. But also, it's the message of abundance, that you can get really healthy food and make it taste awesome. That's what you're really good at. But after my grandfather's heart attack, he got depressed. I mean, he was crying, he was sad, he was irritable, he couldn't sleep. And now looking back on it, most people don't know that heart disease is associated with depression. 60% of people who have a heart attack will develop a major depression within the next 18 months. And so as I had my first grandson about 6 years ago, I'm like, I know how important my grandfather was to me. I want to be here for Elias and Liam and Louie and Emmy, my
Right.
grandbabies, which means I'm in a war, because as you age, I hate this part, your brain gets less and less active, and I never want to be a burden on someone. I want to be the leader of our family with you for as long as possible. But if I'm not
Right.
thinking ahead, then I can't be the leader. So why do you want to get healthy? What's your motivation? Is it for yourself? Is it to look great? Is it to think great? Is it to prevent something like Alzheimer's or depression? Or is it for someone you love?
So when we say we're going after Alzheimer's, we're not kidding. And a lot of people say, well, that's a lofty goal. That's not even possible. It is possible, because we're going after all of the things that cause Alzheimer's. So diabetes, obesity, depression, heart disease, those things are what trigger Alzheimer's. They lead to Alzheimer's. And so by going after those things, we're going to help you become a warrior for your brain and ultimately your entire body and your health and the health of your family. And we're excited about that. So since we know there's a reason that you've joined us, this is personal for you, let's talk about your dream for a minute. Why are you here? Is it because you've struggled with your weight, you've tried other programs that have not worked, you feel ashamed or miserable when you put on a pair of jeans or you put on a dress to go to an event? You know, we work with people all day long that suffer with this.
Or your memory's
Right.
not good, or your mood is
And you're
not
scared.
good, or you feel like you're aging faster than you should be. So many people are frightened
It's scary.
about not only the future, but how they feel now. And medicine after medicine after medicine doesn't work for
Well,
you.
and one thing I want to talk about with depression, because I experienced it going through what I went through, which we'll talk about. But that's a big reason that people want to get help, because it is one of the most god-awful, painful things I can describe. And you can't really describe it to someone. And you can't get out of it. And people feel like there's no hope. And what we want to tell you is that there is. So can you imagine yourself? We just want you for a moment to imagine yourself waking up every morning with energy, feeling vibrant, being able to just rock your mission, putting on those jeans and going, wow, I look good today. I just feel so good about myself. Having that confidence to get up and do what you need to do, and have the energy and the memory and the focus, the attitude to just go out and do it. Because I know I've been on both sides of that fence.
So I actually got an email this week
Yeah, it was-
that I read to you.
It was
And it
hysterical.
starts off with, I want to tell you my rental card number. And it's like this
was
15-digit
weird.
number.
It was odd.
And I'm starting reading this email and I'm going,
No, and then he said, I want to tell you my confirmation number.
from my hotel. And he did. And then he said, the reason I can tell you this is my memory is better than it's ever been, and the numbers actually stick in my head. My creativity has gone way up.
Yeah.
I actually have ideas for books that I know I'll execute on. It was a famous author. And he even said, my sexual performance
Well, he did.
is up.
That was my favorite part. He ends it with like, "Let's talk about intimacy." So he was really excited about
So
that.
what we want for you is your best self, mentally, physically, emotionally.
So-
and that's why we're here.
So take a minute and think about that. Think about what it feels like right now if you stay where you're at. Think about it, where you're at and where are you going to be 5 years from now if you don't make a change. But know that there's hope, and I want you to paint that picture in detail where you could be 1 year from now, 5 years from now, even a couple months from now. If you really pay attention, you make the changes, which are not hard. It's just a process.
Well, let me tell them about Chris. So I'm giving a lecture in San Francisco, and all of a sudden a woman comes up to me and she starts to cry. It actually happens to me a lot. And so I just waited for her to finish. And she said, 2 years ago, my daughter, Sammy, died of bone cancer. And like, boom. I mean, it's like throwing hot
Chills.
water on you. And she said, and I had no idea how it was going to hit me. I got sad. I went to bed. I drank too much. I ate all the wrong
gained a lot of
feed,
weight.
Gained a lot. And on the 2-year anniversary of Sammy's death, she had planned actually to kill herself.
So she
And
knew
then-
how her story was going to turn out.
But she saw our show on public television, and she said, well, I'm going to get their book. And if it's a bad book, I'll kill myself tomorrow, which
lot of
just
pressure there.
horrified me. But she said, I just did everything you said. And literally within 8 days, she was sleeping better. Her panic was gone. Her energy was better. She started walking. Then she started running. And when I'd met her, it was just 2 months later. She'd already dropped 24 pounds.
Right.
And then a year later, she was down like 40 pounds. And she's like, yes, I'm sad that my daughter died, but I knew that she wouldn't want me in this state for her brothers and sisters, and has literally revolutionized her life.
Right.
That's what we're here to help you do.
So take this and internalize it. These are great stories. They're great examples. We have so many testimonials that are inspiring, but we need you to internalize that information. Write it out. Think about it. I want my life to be X in, a year, 6 months, 5 years, whatever it is. Write it out. Think about where you have the potential to go, that you're not living up to your potential, but you have the ability to get there, because that's what's going to motivate you. Whatever it is, that's what's going to motivate you. And we need you to see that potential, that ability to get there.
Well, and the one thing, I mean, I figured out the one thing. It's, it's not a particular diet. It's not exercising so much. In fact, that's probably bad for you. It's mindset.
Absolutely.
If we can help you get
No
the
question.
right mindset, that will revolutionize everything. And the mindset we want to plant in your head is you have to be a warrior.
Absolutely.
Because that's the truth. Everywhere you go, someone's trying to hurt you with toxic food, toxic thoughts, toxic behaviors. But if you have the mindset warrior, you'll win. And you will not only thrive, the people in your life will thrive as well.
Yeah, it's that this is a really important thing. And when people say to me sometimes when I'm out, and even our family will go on a vacation, and they'll, we have personally, we don't engage in having bad food very often. It's very rare, but we'll take the family out and they'll want some ice cream. And my daughter looked at me one day, she goes, how do you do that? How do you not have that when everyone's around you eating ice cream or eating dessert? And she's like, isn't that hard? And I go, absolutely not, because I remember very clearly what it was like to feel depressed. I remember very clearly how painful my life was at a certain point when I was really sick. I don't ever want to go back. I don't think of food as being something that is something so enjoyable that I have to have. I think of food as medicine. And when I eat the wrong foods, it is poison. And there's no question, it's that clear in my head. That food deprives me of what I want, which is to have a mission, to take care of my family, and to just love life and feel amazing in the morning when I get up. So it's not hard when you can switch your thinking around like that.
So the big hint for today is when you do the right thing, stop feeling deprived. It's when you do the wrong thing, that's when you should.
You'll be
'cause
seriously
you're
deprived.
depriving yourself of what you truly want, which is energy, memory, your good health. Now, a lot of people, they have barriers.
Right.
What are the things that really get in their way from being successful?
So there's no question, and you and I have both experienced a lot of the barriers. So the number one thing you already talked about was mindset. You got to change your mindset, and we're going to spend time really focusing and teaching you how to change your mindset. For me, this one's just very practical. It's because it's so obvious, and because I just spent so much time working on it, it's also not that hard to change. It sounds like it is. That's food addiction. And because there are scientists who know, the real estate in grocery stores is taken up by the people who are able to sell the most food. And the way they sell the most food is getting you addicted to their food over someone else's. They pay billions of dollars to people that know how to use foods that literally work on the same part of your brain as cocaine and heroin. Now, I don't know about you, but I think that just irritates me that someone has that much control over my body without me knowing it, and my child's body.
And they only have control if you give it to them.
Right.
But we're going to take away that control by giving you this information. So you have to read the labels.
So yeah,
and so much
for
of
example,
it is addictive.
Right, and so you have to know your trigger foods. That's one of the barriers. Know your trigger foods. We can help you break the addiction to sugar and to
So frosting was
frosting.
your
Oh my
trigger
gosh,
food.
it was crack for me. So frosting was crack. You'd find me in the corner licking frosting off a waxed paper or whatever, smothering it all over my body. I'm just like, stay away from me. If I saw frosting, even after I broke my addiction, even after I was eating healthy for almost a year, I knew that if there was cake or frosting or any type of frosting on donut, whatever it was at a party, don't even take a bite, because we occasionally know that you're going to take a bite of something, and once you get your addictions under control, not a big deal. We've got some rules that will help you with that. Not frosting. So know your triggers. Know the things that are going to set you way back, because then you got to start all over.
And sugar is one of them. In fact, when they gave mice cocaine, they liked it. And then they gave them sugar, and they really liked it. And then they gave them a choice, and most of them went for the sugar. So you have to be very thoughtful. And sugar, there's 14 different names
Right.
for sugar.
But it's more than that. So these food scientists have figured out that when you combine sugar, which is the most powerful addictive substance, with like the unhealthy fats, the fried fats and things like that, when they make them taste really good by frying them up, it's that combination and a little bit of salt. They know the perfect combination. So they did a study with Oreos, and they found that the Oreos, when they studied them, were more addictive than cocaine and morphine.
How interesting.
Yeah.
So food addiction is a barrier. Another barrier are the little lies you tell yourself. I can't eat healthy because
It's too expensive.
It's too expensive. I travel. The
No
people
time.
in my family won't do it. There's no time. And the little lies, which we're going to talk about, I call them ants, automatic negative thoughts, will so take you down the rabbit hole to hell if you don't question your thoughts. It's absolutely critical to not believe every stupid thing you think.
Right, and we've got lots of strategies we're going to teach you, and it's fun when we do this together, because he's the really nice one, very compassionate. He's going to hold your hand. I'm going to kick your butt. So it's fun when we do this together, and we've got these amazing ways of helping you
She
break
kicks my butt all
these
the time.
barriers.
Yes, it is true. It's bruised.
But I feel like it's
Yeah, no, I didn't even tell you that she has 2 black belts. So this very sweet, pretty, kind nurse, and she's here to kick your butt.
I
Why?
am.
Because this is basic training to become a warrior for your health.
and
So-
I know how painful it is. I've been there.
so let's talk about 2 more barriers. So one is low blood sugar. When your blood sugar levels go low, so many people trying to get well, they starve themselves. And when your blood sugar goes low, blood flow to your frontal lobes go low. And when that happens, you make stupid, bad decisions.
Is that, and here's the thing. There's 2 things your body hates: high blood sugar and low blood sugar. But guess which one it hates more? Low blood sugar.
In fact, it'll put you into a panic attack.
Right.
So you have to eat consistently over time in order to maintain self-control. So that is just absolutely critical. The second thing is sleep.
Right.
If you're not sleeping 7 or 8 hours at night, brand new research, just so stinking fascinating, that your brain actually washes itself or cleans itself or detoxifies itself at night.
Right.
And so I told this to Chloe, our
Right.
11-year-old daughter, And one night she goes to Tana, and I hadn't told Tana I was teaching
I
her
thought
this.
I'm like, what?
And she goes, I have to go to bed now because I have to wash my brain.
So the thing I love about this one, it's almost like a cheat. This is like a cheat. You mean I get to sleep my way thinner and smarter and happy? Yeah, you get to sleep your way thin because not getting enough sleep actually puts weight on you. And I actually am irritated with my mother over this one because she never told me that you can actually sleep your way to the top. The key is you actually have to sleep.
We are going to have fun in this warrior training. This is so much fun for us because we know about the stories that will happen. Our goal
Yes.
is to transform and revolutionize your life.
In fact, we want you to get started right now. So we're going to give you a gift and I'm going to challenge you to actually fill this out. It will not take you very long. It's not more than a couple of minutes. It's called the One-Page Miracle. It's going to help you with that vision that I talked about earlier of where you want to see your life go. I'm going to challenge you to fill that out and bring it back because the next time you join us, we've got some really fun stuff in store.
So it's our gift to you. It's actually an exercise I've done with my patients over the last 30 years. Initially, it was just called goals.
Right.
But as people would fill it out, just like the directions say, it revolutionized their life.
transformative.
So if you give your brain exactly what you want in your relationships, your work, your money, your physical, emotional, and spiritual health. So what is it that I want? All on one page. And then you look at it every day. It really then your life becomes, does my behavior fit what I want? So it's not what somebody else thinks you should do. It's what do you want? And then you keep that little question in your head. Does my behavior today get me what I want?
So it's like building a bridge. Each day you're just adding another, plank to the bridge to get to where you want to go. It's fun.
And one of my favorite stories actually comes from one of our NFL players. So at Amen Clinics, we did the world's largest study on active and retired NFL
Oh,
players.
that's a great story.
And Big Ed White, who played for the Minnesota Vikings, he's 365 pounds when I first met him, and he's about 6'2". And I'm like, Ed, what's the deal with your weight? He said, oh, I have no control
Right.
over my appetite.
That's one of those
And
barriers in life.
As a warrior, I never let people lie to themselves. And so I said, is that really true? You really have no control? And no one had ever challenged him.
Right.
And so he stopped and he said, no, I do have some control. But just by believing
But
he
if
had
I recall,
no control,
he actually said no at first, and you actually looked at him and said, is that true? If someone held a gun to your head, you would have no control right now. That just was funny to me.
and he ended up losing 100 pounds. And the exciting thing, not only did he lose weight, his memory scores went up 400%. His judgment scores went up. His attention scores went up. So even though he had experienced brain damage, he was overweight and had this negative thinking pattern. Within just a couple of months, his memory was better, his mind was better, clarity was better, and he was on the road
Right.
to getting healthy.
So-
we want you on that road.
So fill this out and do us a favor. Leave your comments and questions below. We will do our best to answer as many of them as we can personally. And we're going to get back to you. And next week, we're going to have so much fun.
In fact, we're going to talk about how to reverse brain aging. We're
So you mean
excited
brain
about it.
aging is not, it's optional? It's not mandatory?
It's optional. We're going to show you how Andy became a brain warrior, revolutionized his life, and his brain literally aged backwards.
So exciting.
Stay with us.